Good evening. This is just Bob Bowman. I'm dropping another video, and I wanted to do a part two to the how growing up in Chicago influenced me to be a passport brother. And I wanted to kind of touch on a few things in a little bit more in depth because I really didn't get a chance to really fully express myself in the last video the way that I needed to. So I'm going to touch on a few points again, and I'm doing this kind of freestyle. Like, I'm in my car, so I really don't care. But one thing that I want to say before I get started is I would like to, make more money. I would I would definitely enjoy it if I was able to be monetized off of doing these YouTube videos, but it takes time. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, and you need a lot of eyeballs on your product or whatever it is that you're putting out here on YouTube. And, you know, if I would have started with these talking points a long time ago, maybe I would have a better opportunity to get there. But right now, it's more about just getting what it is that I need to get off my chest. Um, and I will admit that I don't make enough money to just up and leave the states like how I want to. Um, if I was able to have a job where I could relocate or, you know, have had a skill set that I needed to where I didn't need to live in Illinois, I would definitely have moved a long time ago. But I will say this, that my progress has I really see the progress that's happening in my life. Like 2 years ago, I could barely walk. I was in so much pain. I was going to physical therapy. Like, it's so much stuff that happened to me. A lot of things I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I know that financially I was in a really bad situation, and I had to learn about money management. I had to learn about sacrifice. I had to learn about what it is that I need to do in order to get myself out of the situation. Like, not focus on my wants, but focus on my needs, even more so than what I did previously. Because how I used to be previously is that I took care of all my basic bills, and then I squandered the rest of the money instead of making sure I had money in savings, making sure that I had something set aside in case of an emergency. I trusted way too many people with helping me out with certain things that affected my finances, and it all came to bite me in the behind at that point. And then when my last car got set on fire, and I explained that story before, like, that set me back a few $1,000s, and that was me trying to protect a family member that really did not care about my well-being or what was going on in my life. That family member only cared about themselves. So going through all that and having that experience, and I had clawed my way to where I was able to actually get my passport and go on a trip. It was a week and a half, but hey, I was out on that trip. I had fun. I was able to relax a little bit. And, like, I understand how some people feel because they like, oh, if you really want to leave, you need to just leave altogether. But what do you want me to do? Do you want me to try to scam people to build up my wealth in order for me to move, or should I rely on the Most High God, which I believe in, to make a way for me? Like, I've put myself into businesses and tried that avenue, and I haven't had any success yet. But at least I am trying. I'm trying to do something, but I know that it ain't gonna work unless God wanted to work. And if it's not my time for me to do it, then it's not gonna happen. And coming to that understanding, I'm learning how to be patient. I'm learning how to just be okay with being by myself. I'm learning self control. I'm learning discipline. I'm learning how to be okay with most people not liking me and not wanting to be around me. And I'm coming into the conclusion that I might even lose some of my even closer friends in the future, and that's because I'm the way that I am and they the way that they are, and they have their own lives and I have my own life, and we all have our own paths. And sometimes the direction that I'm going might not mesh well in the direction that they're going, or the people that they're around, the direction that they're going. So I have to take that into account and understand that sometimes, it's just not meant to be. I'm just not meant to be real close to them. And that's okay. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. I can still love them from a distance if I have to. And I've made that up in my mind. And am I saying that it's not gonna hurt when it happens? Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, I'm going to feel some type of way about it. But I need to just process it, let it. And once I finish processing it, I just got to keep living my life, because at the end of the day, that's all we can do is just live our lives the way that we need to. I mean, it's a lot of things that happen that we don't like. You know, like I said, the dating market here, uh, in the states where I'm at, in the area that I'm at, it's not too good. I had to leave out of the city of Chicago. Like, I don't live in the city of Chicago. I live in the outskirts of Chicago, like outside of the city. And 3 years ago, I said that I wasn't going to move where I live at, and I wasn't going to do what I'm doing right now. But when the Most High God has a plan for you, and He wants you to do something, He's going to make a circumstance or a situation to make it happen, whether you want it to happen or not. Now, I've had individuals try to pressure me and force me into doing things that I wasn't willing to do. And guess what? I'm not doing them right now. You know why? Because the Most High doesn't want me to do those things. I've been around people that call me they brothers. Some of them actually treated me like that, but then some of them, they really didn't look at me like that. They just looked at me as a punching bag, somebody that they can insult and put down and make fun of, and treat like less than them. And I had to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? And those people know who they are. They know how they looked at me, and they probably will deny it because they don't want to take the blame for what it is that they did. And I have to accept that. I have to accept that they never are going to admit what they did to me, and how they wronged me, or how they didn't just accept me for who I was and was trying to make me into what they thought I should be. And it took for 2020 to happen, for all that negativity to come upon me, and and for me to realize what was going on. Like, in YouTube, there's so much information out there that I'm like, wow, I got so much confirmation. Like, my name is Bob. That's why I call myself just Bob Bowman. And one thing that used to bother me is when people would call me Robert, and it was people that would just call me Robert like out of spite, and I didn't realize the reason why they would call me Robert, and they would always do it. And these were some of my so-called brothers that would do that, and that's because they found out that the meaning of Robert in medieval times was what they called the court gestures, or the clowns for the kings, the fools. And so they were literally just calling me a fool in a different way, insulting me in a way that didn't seem like an insult. They did their best to gaslight me, to try to shame me into being what it is that they wanted me to be, just so they can have a certain image that they run me and they have control over me, and I wasn't going for it. Like, I would rather die than to have somebody direct me on how to live my personal life. And I'm willing to die. And I'm saying that in public, in front of everybody, that I'm willing to die before I allow other people to dictate my personal decisions in my personal life. I'm willing to be by myself before I let anybody dictate what it is that I do with whomever. Ain't nobody gonna police my Johnson. And I've made that quite clear before, and I know that you hear this often and you hear this from different men, and I'm just expressing myself. I know that it's a lot of men out there that have the same message as me, but this is me coming from my heart, from my mind. I'm being myself right now. I've distanced myself from certain groups and organizations that I was a part of. I've distanced myself from certain family members. I'm being more by myself because I need to, so I can be who it is that I need to be. I can be who it is that the Most High made me to be. And it doesn't matter if one person or 1 million people watch this video, I'm still going to fight to be the person that I am. Now, with that being said, making that decision on doing that, on becoming an individual and not being a follower, you're going to get a lot of animosity. You're going to get a lot of conflict. And I knew if I didn't move out of Chicago, I was going to either die or be in jail. And I'm not saying that I was going to die by other people's hands, but I started having chest pains a lot during that time. That the last couple of months that I was living in Chicago, like, I was so stressed out. Like, I was thinking that it was people that was going to try to, hurt me. And I had, I got shot at with a paintball gun randomly, and 5 people got killed on the block that I lived at within the past 5 years of me. I'm sorry, the past 3 years of me living there. It was 5 people that got killed. 3 years that I lived on that block. So I was already having anxiety and paranoia. I was already depressed about certain people abandoning me at my worst time. And O'Shea Duke Jackson, he said something that was very important. And I was like, wow, like, I had to just, like, accept what was being said. And he was saying it out of love, and I can appreciate what he said. And he said that everybody knows that the black man is going through struggles. Everybody knows the unfairness that's going on in the world. But at the end of the day, nobody cares. They only care about results. So with coming to that conclusion and understanding what was being said and agreeing with what was being said, I had to come up with a way for me to adapt to the environment that I'm in, the situation that I'm in. If I know that I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't care about anything about me unless I'm doing something for them, I have to get to that point where I don't care about their feelings and their personal opinions about me, even if they click up and they group up to put out information about how they think or how they feel about me, even if they want to fabricate stories about me, or if they want to mix truth in with fabrication. I have to build that idea in my mind that I don't care. I'm going to still do things my way. I'm not going to allow myself to be subservient to another man. Now, at my job, do I have to be subservient? Yes, I do, because I want to be able to feed myself and take care of myself correctly. So I know It's certain times where I can't do certain things that I want to, and there's certain times where I can. And in my personal life, outside of work, I'm going to be who it is that I am. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say. It doesn't matter how they think about me, how they think about how I look, how they think about how I dress, how they think about how I speak, how I carry myself. It doesn't matter. If I have preferences on what it is that I want in a woman, that's what it is. If that means that I got to be by myself for the rest of my life, then that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care what it is you thought you had for me and your plans to fit your personal life, and it doesn't fit my personal life. This is what a lot of people don't understand, or they don't want to get. And I used to be the same way as that. So I don't fault them too much, because I had that certain type of mentality before myself. But I had to grow out of it and realize that it's not all about me. And a lot of people, especially a lot of the B-dubs and all the simps out there, they always looking for what's in it for them. That everything should be revolving around them. Just like that extra heavy set guy that was trying to set me up to say something that wasn't true, so he could go back and spread more rumors and lies about me. But at the end of the day, it didn't work, and he's still going to be who he is, which is morbidly obese, somebody who wants to be a rapper but can't, and can't hold a job. That has nothing to do with me. So I did care about him at one point, but I had to learn that I can't care about him. And that's how I have to be with most people that I'm around, that I know or that I've known in my life. That's how Chicago has changed me, or made me into the person that I am, to where I'm going to be doing more trips, going out of the country more often, and I know I can't do it all the time. So a guy like Ringo, and I don't mean to keep bringing up names and name dropping, but a guy like Ringo, he's right when he's like, if you want to leave the country, you need to figure out a way to make money to where you can leave permanently. I totally agree with him. But if you're not able to, you just have to do what it is that you can do. I'm where I'm at. There's nothing that I can do about it at this moment. Only thing that I can do is keep working hard, keep working on myself, and then maybe one day I might get to the promised land. You know, MLK, he said he saw the promised land. I'm hoping that I get to that promised land one day where I can be free. I can be myself. But if it's not there yet, it's nothing that I can do about it. Now, I moved to where I moved to because I needed to. And it wasn't something that I wanted to do. But one thing that I know now, after moving, I'm getting closer and closer to that promised land. And it might take me 20 years. It might take me 40 years. I might never make it to the promised land. But damn it, I'm going to keep fighting until I get there. Because that's all I can do. So if you want to keep shaming me, you can go ahead and keep shaming me. You want to keep insulting, gaslighting men like me, you could go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and say, oh, the men that's getting passports, they not doing it so they can build a family. They only doing it for sex. When you know in your right mind that it's both. Like, yeah, men travel to get sex, but men also travel to find families. Like, I have a few friends that have families that were started overseas. I have a family member that's married to a woman that's from a different country that he met overseas. So, yes. So you can't just lump everybody in one single pile and then try to prove your point with that. It's stupid, it's asinine, and It's a form of insulting people that's fed up with the way that things are here, and they just got to do the best that they can to cope with it and deal with it and possibly move forward. Why am I speaking so passionately about this? Is because it's a lot of men that feel the same way that I do. And they are looking for an alternative to the bullshit that's being force fed to us. We're tired of being force fed. I know I am. I'm tired of being force fed. I'm tired of being told what I can and cannot like, and told who I can and can't date, and people trying to hook me up with some certain people, and then if I say no or I'm not interested in that person, they catch attitudes with me. And then try to ostracize me and spread more falsehoods and other things about me, and then find out old stuff about me to try to pile on their stuff, to pile on even more poor reputation on a person. And you know that's what goes on. It's a hive mentality out here. And I am too intelligent to allow myself to fall prey and victim into that hive mentality. I'm not a fucking utility. And I'm saying this loud and clearly. I don't need your fucking education. I'm educated. I don't need your 6-figure salaries. I make enough money to take care of myself. If I got to do this shit alone, I am willing to do that. And I'm willing to do this until I hit retirement age and possibly have enough energy and strength to get the hell away from here. That's my goal. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to harm anybody. But why in the fuck should I try to assimilate with people that don't respect me and don't want me around? It has been made obvious to me. I'm doing my best not to like snap off and do any crazy stuff. Just like a lot of other men out here. And I express myself honestly. And I'm still ridiculed and insulted for doing that. And men like me are insulted and ridiculed for doing that. And I know that a lot of people still don't care. So I don't care if you don't like me expressing myself, that you just want me to shut up. Fuck you. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm going to keep fucking expressing myself. Fuck you. Fuck your children. Fuck your family. Fuck everything about you if you don't like what the fuck I'm saying. And I dare you to do something about it. Now, I'm not acting tough. I'm just saying I'm going to express myself regardless of how you feel about it or not. All right. I'm just going to leave this as it is. But I just wanted to do this part 2 where I can express my reasons of how Chicago influenced me to be a passport bro. Shout out to Black Ram 313. He's another fellow Chicagoan, even though he's on the west side and I'm a south sider. Hey, he came to the same conclusion that I did. And me and him are nothing alike. But at the same time, we both black men that have understood where the game is going, and we've decided to look for different alternatives for our best interest to the best of our ability. But with that being said, this is just Bob Bowman. Have a nice evening.